Okay, so a little selenite sweep for anybody as we get started. Selenite is great to carry. It's great to sleep with, to lay on your energy centers, to sweep your aura. All right, let's get this book, the Remembered One. We're going to do another section. We did section 16 yesterday. Let's see, let's do at least section 17. Okay, section 17, the end of waiting. There was no time when I believed I had to wait for alignment. Okay, let me start over. There was a time when I believed I had to wait for alignment, for proof, for permission. I waited for the right moment, the right words, the right signal from the sky. But the longer I waited, the more the world dimmed. Not because it was broken, but because I was deferring my own ignition. The truth is, no one is coming to activate you. The field responds when you do. The code unlocks when you move. The access turns when you stop outsourcing your signal. This is the end of prophecy as performance. Say that again. This is the end of prophecy as performance. The end of awakening as entertainment. This is the end of waiting for validation, waiting for the tribe, waiting for the system to collapse, waiting for the shift to announce itself like a headline. The shift already happened. You are standing in it, and your choice is the only gate left to walk through. When I stopped waiting, I didn't explode. I realigned. I entered the current and let it shape me into real time. That's when the people showed up. That's when the resources surfaced. That's when the gate, the one I thought was locked, opened itself from within. I realized it wasn't timing, it was me, not fate. It was frequency. This is the moment you stopped waiting and started walking as the signal. Because the ones who walk first become the ground for the rest to rise. Let me say that again. This is the moment you stopped waiting and start walking as a signal. Because the ones who walk first become the ground for the rest to rise. All right, let's read section 18. The breath that builds worlds. The breath is not just oxygen, it's a builder, a weaver, a conduit of memory between dimensions. I didn't always know how to use it. I thought breath was for survival. Then I remembered it's a tool for creation. Every inhale is a download. Every exhale is architecture. Let that sink in. Inhale, download. Exhale, architecture. I began breathing with intention. You need only alignment between intention, tone, and field. When those align, the grid bends, probability folds, reality restructures itself to accommodate your architecture. Intention, tone, and field. And when you live in that tone, let me come back. Reality restructures itself to accommodate your architecture. This is the lost art of speaking, not about truth, but as truth. This is the lost art of speaking, not about truth, but as truth. When you live in that tone, the old programs can't run. They don't recognize your signature anymore. You are not longing. You are no longer in their domain. This is the sound of the new earth writing itself through you with every word that emerges from a field that no longer waits to be chosen. Because now you are the author of your access and the code responds. Let's do one more. Section 20, the death of the old program. It didn't die with thunder. It died quietly in a moment of stillness when I realized I no longer believed it. The old program wasn't just an idea, it was a frequency loop. A false rhythm I had been trained to breathe in. It said, you are not ready, you are not worthy, you must prove yourself to be chosen. It was never taught directly. It was woven into systems, into schools, into the eyes of people I loved who didn't know they were transmitting it. And for a while I lived as if it were truth. I performed the ritual of limitation. I apologized for my clarity. I waited to be allowed until I didn't. It wasn't rebellion, it was detuning. I stopped playing the melody of doubt, and the field stopped echoing its song. That's how the old program dies, not with a fight, but with a frequency collapse. When you stop energizing the loop, it disintegrates. When you stop fearing exile, you exit the cage. There is no final battle. There is only the choice to stop carrying what no longer fits the architecture of your soul. And when you make that choice, the old God vanishes, the old laws dissolve, and the cage clears for the new code to write itself. This is the death of the old program and the rebirth of the original tone we were always meant to carry. So we'll do 21 later, the fracture that opens the gate. Remembered one, super book. I just want to speak to that just for a moment. So when you stop speaking, thinking, subconsciously projecting, because you've done enough work, everybody on here's done enough work. When you stop speaking, thinking, emoting, emotionalizing, feeling the old program, it can't exist. And you may question and say, well, where's this? Where's that? Like you're waiting for the old world to tell you you're wrong. I'm telling you, you've got to stop and make your world, make your own reality, make the whole thing up, because you always were making it up. And it was the misunderstanding and misalignment and misinterpretation that we were making this up as we go from the sum total of our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, memories, that loop, creation is a loop of subconscious imprints until you wake up out of it. And you use the looping of the imprints purposefully, meaning you superimpress your connection with God, Goddess, inner I am, awareness, presence, whatever you want to call it. Early in the AM, you superimpress with that. You stay connected to that behind your two eyes. You stay connected with awesomeness. You stay connected with the truth that your soul knows. Your soul knows you are the soul, eternally so. And you know how amazing you are. You know how amazing everyone is. You know how amazing life is, creation is. So that's what you stay connected with, what you speak. And I know there's a pattern or a habit of communicating to each other, things that maybe we're catching wind of a loop that was really tumultuous or weird or problematic. If we speak it, we've got to collapse it after we speak it, or we speak it with no charge. So make sure you're not speaking it all charged up, because you're further impressing it into your subconscious mind, which is the projector of material. The material that's being projected in front of you is a shadow, an echo of your subconscious impressions. Meaning the field, the flame, the eternal flame that you are, that pierces the presence, the moment, the field. It's going to project what you're impressed into, what you're connected into. And if you're connected within to the one, to the whole, to the all, to awareness, to Holy Spirit, to pure field, quantum field, all these things are the same thing. If you're fully connected into that infinite space of existence, and you say an amazing thing, think an amazing thing, have an amazing vision, it instantly projects in front of you. If you're not doing that, then you're living the old way, and you're just watching the loops of old material that you memorized early in life because you didn't understand you were really impressionable. The subconscious mind was super impressionable. It was super spongy. It was taking it all in. And then it just cycles again and again. And people may get older, or their archetype the archetype that they're holding, the people may change, the characters may change, but it's still all the same until you awaken out of the loop and you purposely use the loop of creation. By firmly aligning within and then piercing the present moment and enjoying that which you're seeing in front of you, enjoying the creative loop cycle that's going on for sheer enjoyment. So this is mainly speaking to the three sections I just read, that you know, if you keep waiting and looking online for the system to collapse, you know, ultimately, if that's what you're programming on the inner, is you're seeing the holy source coding, new level of awareness around law and structure of what does law stand for? Land, air, and water. If you say laws, it's land, air, water, source. The new structure of land, air, and water, and how those are going to participate with your brilliance in your present moment. That's what you're focusing on, the impressing of the subconscious, and living in the highest unfoldment of, you know, the new earth, of being self-governed, because you know that you're source creating and source projecting light particles in front of you. Then you may see an echo online when you go look that is occurring, but ultimately pull our head out of this screen, even though I'm talking to you into it, because I get to actually communicate to more people possibly than right in front of me sometimes, whoever watches this. But we pull ourselves out of this and then we go experience the present moment, and that is what is to be focused on. And there's the last thing I wanted to say is that, you know, I guess the term is doom scrolling. That's pretty popular. Even the young ones know this. I heard my wee one telling the other friend, don't doom scroll. If you found yourself like seeking, looking for, you know, some sort of validation of the new world existing, and you keep your head in this device looking for it, it's just going to be on that loop cycle of seeking, looking for validation, because that's where your presence is. Your presence is seeking and looking for validation, not in the actualization, in the solution already unfolded. So if you want to do some impressing that you're wanting to actually have it validated online, then you impress massive solutions in your meditation behind your two eyes, and then you go enjoy your projection that will show you those impressions of solution. So I know if you get what I'm saying, you get it. If you don't, it may sound a little bit of just a little bit coded. So I hope you all are having a magical now moment. Release, allow, knowing, yeah. Just allow the knowing. And the being and the experiencing. Like, you are creator and you're creating this magical experience. What do you, if you're going off the old system of seeking to get something in the mail, even the mailbox. I mean, you can make that magical, make it fun, and have it delivered to you what it wants to deliver, that magic box that you open and you find all sorts of yummy things in there. But if you're looking for something to drop in there from an old paradigm that you're no longer wanting to align to, because you realize that you made it in an outdated system, architecture of victim paradigm, subject-object paradigm, two people rather than one, then that's just continuing the old thing. So let's let that be an assignment. What do you now want to be the things that you would have delivered in a mailbox? And what will you only align to? What will you create and align to? So anything that's not allowing you, there's resistance, or you don't even know what to actually program or allow yourself to receive. I'm just going to ask for that to clear, cleanse, release. And any outdated programs, practices, procedures, or loops in your subconscious mind that have you receiving things you don't want to receive anymore in any way, shape, or form, whether it be a mailbox or anywhere else. Let's just dissolve out of that. And ask yourself, where's the conception point of ever receiving something that I didn't want to receive? Maybe you close your eyes for a minute. We did this in class today. What's the age of you receiving something you didn't want to receive? What vision of you can you imagine? What aspect, what reflection of you wants to show up? And the first time you received something that you didn't want to receive, What feeling came up? Maybe fear, maybe anxiousness. And I want you to ask your other reflection in your imagination, what subconscious belief got built from that? And once you hear something, maybe you replay this back. Ask your subconscious mind now, what is the benefit of, what did your subconscious mind feel that it was benefiting by memorizing this? How was it feeling like it was keeping you safe by keeping that subconscious belief? Usually what the subconscious mind is trying to keep you safe with these belief systems that are stored and hardwired from earlier times is because it doesn't want you to lose your identity. It wants to keep you safe from humiliation, from being hurt, being killed, basically anything that's going to destroy the identity. And then I want you to ask possibly it's your younger self, but this reflection of you, if it's ready to let go of all the stored emotions around that and that subconscious belief or two that got formed. Ask if they're ready to release it. And then take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let it all go. Let the inner version of you let it all go. Imagine golden light pouring around them, helping them to transfigure, transmute anything that needs to be released. And then I want you to let them know, or I'm going to let them know, it is safe to let that go. And now it is more than safe, more than fun to now open the mailbox and receive. Ask them if they're ready to receive the most amazing packages of gifts in mailboxes and any sort of receiving of, and let's just make it receiving. And let's build a new belief system that it's safe and fun to receive magical gifts of money, of abundance, of joy packets, handmade gifts, handwritten letters, letters written from the heart, whatever you want to program it in there. You want to put a new program in, new belief in, that it's fun and joyful to open the mailbox that brings you gifts of joy, bundles of joy always. And let's always add in always. Always, everywhere, every time it is fun to receive gifts. Okay, is that it? And ask your other version self that you're imagining if that's 100% received. And if not, ask what you could do to help them receive it. Maybe you want to give them more light. Maybe you want to have them be wrapped in the light of God, source, creator, energy. Good. Is that complete? Yes. Okay. Sending so much love, so much joy. Play this back if you need to. Do it again and again. Add different topics in. Come get a session. I'm feeling like this type of subconscious work and belief up-leveling will be high on the sessions for the next few weeks. Feels very powerful and potent. What a time to be here.